Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Silky pruning saws. These saws are the Silky Gomtaro professional models, and one is in 210mm blade length and the other has a 300mm blade length, and these have actually came fairly highly recommended to me. I first knew of the brand Silky when I was watching another YouTuber, Mad Dog Survival. If you're not familiar with his channel, definitely check him out. He did a review of a Silky Zubat was the model, and he was able to fell a fairly large tree with it. I think the main difference between those, besides the price, is these pruning saws here come with a straight blade, whereas Mad Dog saw, the Zubat, came with a curved blade with a more rounded tip on it, and it looked fairly good. So that was my first introduction to Silky. But since then, having been doing some more conservation work and working with other professionals in that field, as well as some tree surgeons, I saw that they were using these as well, so I thought I would get a couple and try them out. First impressions, I really like them. I like the scabbard, that'll be handy, and I also like this clasp and belt loop. As you can see there, it has a clip, so you can take that out. So in the mornings before you start your work, when you're just getting ready, you can put that on your belt loop. And if you're getting in and out of vehicles every day, it means that you don't have the full scabbard attached, getting in your way as you're trying to get in and out, and you might close it in a door or something. So on first instance, that looks very handy indeed, and impressed with that. I've used a lot of pruning saws, and a lot of them do come with scabbards, but they've never came with one as high a quality as this. And I also saw that there's a couple of loops on the scabbard itself that you could use with a leg strap. I know that's an accessory available from Silky as well. So yeah, they look pretty good on the face of it. Made in Japan, obviously, and on reading up, it said that they were made from premium Japanese steel with a nickel coating, and they look pretty strong. I really like this handle. It's very ergonomic. It's solid as well. It just feels good quality, and it's nice and grippy as well. So that is really useful, especially if your hands are wet or your gloves have got like algae off trees and stuff on them. So that seems good. The other thing about before I move on, the other thing about the scabbard is when you turn it upside down, you can't get the saw out. It actually clips in and holds on to it there. There's two rollers either side, as you can see, and you just push the saw in and that keeps it nice and secure. So if you're an arborist and you're climbing up a tree and your saw is sort of moving about, it's not going to fall to the ground. You're always going to have it there when you need it, and also when you're obviously working on the ground too, it keeps it nice and secure out of the road for you. So pretty impressed so far. So as I say, this is a 300mm blade length one, and it says it has 6.8 teeth per inch. So that's pretty cool. Obviously this is a pruning saw, but looking at it, I'm pretty sure it could take down a sizable tree. As I mentioned there in Mad Dog's video, he was able to fell a massive tree with his Zubat, and I think it was also a 300mm blade, although it was a curved one. Whether that would make much difference, I'm not too sure. So in terms of pricing, the 210mm version would set you back around £37 up to around 40, and the 300mm version would usually start around £46 up to 50. It just really depends on where you're picking that up. In terms of the pricing scale, these seem to be around the very top. Certainly, I mean, I've used scores of pruning saws over the years, and these seem to be the most expensive ones that I've used and even heard of. However, I've also used a lot from like seasonal aisles in supermarkets, and also ones from garden centres and things. So I feel I'm best placed to really compare. As I say, I've used an awful lot of these over the years. So what we'll do now is go out into the field and give these a bit of a field trial. We're going to go to a local reservoir that's actually managed by my angling club, and some small jobs need done around that. So we need to prune some trees and also need to fell some that are blocking a tow drain around a reservoir currently, but I'll explain a wee bit more about the reasoning behind that when I get out into the field. I might also talk about the value of woods for wildlife, and also how woodland management can benefit the wildlife that live in them as well. Okay, so I'm giving the Silky saw a bit of a field test today, and I've been using it for a while now, and I'm very, very impressed. I have to do a wee bit of woodland clearance and a bit of maintenance here on one of my angling club's woodlands, alongside one of our reservoirs, and there's a drain here, as you can see, straight down there, that needs cleared, so these few trees have to go, and that was a willow that was actually on its side. However, the Silky is making the job a hell of a lot easier, and it's probably the best handsaw that I've ever used. Someday I'll probably do a comparison video comparing the Silky to other cheaper models, but this is definitely worth the extra money. Not to mention its cutting ability is absolutely fantastic, and it goes like a hot knife through butter through most trees. This handy scabbard, as you can see there, is extremely useful whenever you're using the chainsaw. When you drop a bigger tree and you could trim the smaller branches off, or even when you're doing jobs like this, doing a bit of pruning, and that's essentially what the saw is for. It is a pruning saw. This one here, as you know, is the 300mm model. The smaller one will be useful as well in other applications, but I thought I would give this one a go today. So before I demonstrate the cutting ability, I'll just talk a bit more about what I'm doing here. As I said, I had to move some trees, and this is a broadleaf woodland that was planted about 10-15 years ago maybe, but as you can see, it's mostly still rank vegetation. So what we're doing today is removing the trees from the tow drain, because they need to go for the drain to be cleaned out so it passes a reservoir inspection, which is a prerequisite here in Northern Ireland for any reservoir. As you can see, that's the reservoir just there. So I've been piling up these branches in a specific way, and as you can see, it looks nice and messy, and you know, that's ideal for wildlife. Often, you know, woodlands and things are far too nice and neat, and that's not really good for wildlife. These brush bundles is what they're now called. You know, essentially just a bundle of sticks provide a wealth of habitat and feeding opportunities for all different kinds of wildlife, especially small birds, wrens, robins, blackbirds, even game birds such as pheasants and woodcock and things like that. They really benefit from cover like that low to the ground. As you can see at the back of the woodland there, before it reaches the fields, there's a bit of cover, and that's absolutely ideal. But as I say, for woodcock especially, it's nice and wet and marshy down there, and it's ideal habitat in that respect. However, it needs more cover, so I'm combining the work that I need to do today for the drains to, you know, increase wildlife habitat. So I've dropped logs in various parts in this wee woodland here. As you can see, there's a fallen tree there, and that's exactly what it's meant to replicate. Obviously, with this being a small woodland with you know, not much dead woodland on the ground, and a lot of these trees are fairly young and healthy still, so they haven't dropped. But you know, for a proper functioning, good, healthy woodland, you need fallen dead wood. And again, that's to provide feeding opportunities and also habitats for insects and things which are really, you know, the cornerstone of the ecosystem, and especially other things like fungi and other decomposers, mushrooms and things like that. So deadwood's extremely important. So again, I'm taking the opportunity to put some deadwood into the wood. Okay, so I'm now going to demonstrate how good the Silky is at just cutting through wood. A few branches that I need to prune, so absolute dream. Very, very good saw. So here's a slightly bigger branch, so I'll just start cutting this. Very, very clean, very smooth, and I don't have to put much force into it. Absolutely fantastic saw. Fully recommend. They're definitely the best I've ever had, and I've went through a lot of saws. Because we do lots of conservation work, we also try to get plenty of equipment in to provide our volunteers, and sometimes this can lead to a bit of cost cutting, and you tend to go for the cheaper option. But in terms of quality, this is fantastic, and I'll definitely be buying more of these for the conservation work going forward. Fully recommend. thanks very much for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you'd like to like, comment and subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. And check back soon.